You said, why do people who have money not spend money as much as people who don't have money, right? And I don't think that's necessarily true.
Right.
I think it is. I think there are people who have money with a poor wealth mindset, and then people who have money with a healthy wealth mindset. Because we got rappers and, you know, entertainers and all kinds of people who get all this money and then lose it because they are buying the cars to be seen and the shoes to be seen. When then you have that same a different person with the same amount of money who says, you know what, I'm going to buy that same car, I'm going to buy those same shoes, and I'm going to leverage it for impact. Yeah. I'm going to leverage it.
And you know what's funny? So, well, and I don't want to come off judgmental because Rod Wave had one of the like strongest bars I ever heard in a song, right? It's hard to tell somebody how to shine when all they know is hard times, right? So I think that if you've been locked out of something for so long, you do want to feel how it feels to have it. And I can't knock nobody on that, right? But to go back to that, think about this, right? So think about the person who just came up in the money and then they go buy a person, he just came up in the money, right? And he go and buys a $10,000 Gucci outfit. Let's say I go to Metro Mart and I get a knockoff Gucci outfit. I jump out of Rolls Royce, who outfits you gonna think real and who you think gonna fake?
Right.
Because my influence now from having the car is never gonna have you questioning if my Gucci is real. But I could have went and took a photo. The photo shoot is gonna come out the same on the knockoff or the real. So I'm not telling people to go out there and just buy fake stuff, but every now and then you gotta reward yourself. I just think I've been locked out of wealth so long that everybody that I ever looked up to bought this type of stuff, so I feel like this is success. And I don't have the right person behind me telling me that, hey, maybe you need to save for a rainy day or the future.
Gotcha. And I know this question is past what we talked about, but how did you car hack?
Oh, the car hack. So
Before that,
okay.
Can we get you to silence those notifications?
Yeah, that thing is killing me. And I want to make sure
two phones,
not
maybe.
me.
No, it's definitely Derrick.
It's
definitely Derrick.
I don't know how to use this iPhone. I
Here,
only got it for Clubhouse.
Let's go to your I'm going to just throw you on Do Not Disturb.
Let's make sure I'm good.
I didn't even know that's how it worked.
There we go. Okay. So, yeah. So tell me about the car hack. You walked in $39,000 in equity, and you're gonna sell it back for what you bought it for 18 months later.
Yes. So one of the things to always look at is like Mercedes dealerships, and like not the top tier, not like because what happens is Mercedes, right? It's not their brand, but a lot of people trade Rolls Royces, they trade Bentleys, Aston Martins, and for Maybachs, right? Because a Maybach, even though it's a real high level brand, it's some consider like uber luxury, right? But Mercedes don't want to have that car on their lot for over 120 days, right? Because it's a non-Mercedes, right? They can't certify pre-own it, which means that I can't add value to this car, which means the longer it sits here, it's going to start driving down. And the longer it sits on the lot, people are going to think things wrong with it. And as long as I own the asset, I got to start paying on the asset, right? So it's easier at that 120 days to just sell it to an auction. So the auction usually gets the rate that you're gonna get because that's what the auction usually gets. It put it back on the dealership, and then when you go and buy it for what it's worth, it's almost $30-something thousand above.
Hold on, okay, run that back. I missed it.
All right, so let's say I got that from the Mercedes dealership in Illinois.
Yes.
So you
By
can
that,
actually.
what are you pointing that out there?
The Rolls Royce.
I keep pointing out there like people can see the Rolls Royce.
The Rolls Royce,
right?
okay.
So you do have to do some searching, right? But if it's gonna take me 5 hours to save $35,000 or $38,000, of course I'm gonna search, right? So so you're just looking around and so you start on like Car Gurus, TrueCar, or something like that. And then you start looking at how long it's been on the lot. So I would do my search on all Rolls Royces. And then you can actually filter it by how long they actually been on Car Gurus, how long they actually been on that. And then I go from top to bottom. Whoever's sitting on the lot the longest, I'm gonna start calling from there and negotiate. Because I know that when you see something around 110, 115 days, in the next 5 days, they're about to sell that to an auction. So why go and sell it to an auction, have to ship it off and spend extra money and then get it from that rate when I can negotiate to get the rate the auction getting and I'll come fly out to get it though.
Wow. So okay, is this what happened?
Yeah, so I called him and I said, how long has it been sitting on the lot and how long just talking back and forth, get some background, and how long usually y'all, because they're gonna try to play hardball, and you can't just take the first thing and then you call and get somebody else. So the second person, you're gonna get more information from different people because they want to sell. And my commission on like a Rolls Royce or something like that gonna be different than a Camry, right? Yeah. So when you get to that third person, now it's been on the lot 118 days, and then you call the second person, had nothing to do with that car right there, and then you talked about non-Mercedes on how long they usually sell them to the auction and how long they usually hold them, right? You done got all your answers that you need. And then what you do is you call and say, hey, I did some background in that car and I realized y'all had it 118 days. I'm booking my flight out there to see it from Atlanta now. But if I like that car, I'm going to go ahead and buy it. Can we talk? And then now when we talk, say, hey, usually I know that, y'all trying to sell this car for blah, blah, blah. But what I'm going to do is I can make an offer on there of what the auction is actually going to pay for it. And I just throw an offer out there. I always go 30,000 below on a huge, on a car like that. Because I know they leave enough cushion, in there. And then they was like, I don't know if we can do that. Hardball, of course. And then the manager call you back, say, hey, can you put $1,000 on so we know you ain't playing? So it's not really a rush on there. A car that's been sitting out there almost 120 days. And then they come and say, somebody was looking at it. And I say, well, all right, well, go ahead and let them get it. Because if it's been sitting out there 118 days, y'all want to go ahead and sell it, right? And then, they'll be like, all right, they ain't want it. Of course. Now I'm going to talk to them a little more, right?
Of course they want it.
So,
they never wanted it.
Yeah. So the way I
there was no human being out there looking at it.
There was no person
So I'm
there.
like, bro, I can just book me a $600 flight because it's the next day, and then I'm going to go out there, and then now they happy to see me take it off the line.
So that car, you offered them.
I did that with that.
You offered them how much? 39,000 or?
Yeah, so I offered them $251. So I offered them $251.
What was it listed for?
It was listed for like $290. Yeah, so it was literally and the guy that had it was the vice president of like Heinz, the ketchup place or whatever like that. He didn't like how he looked in it, and he liked how he looked in the Maybach, so he turned it in.
He didn't like how we looked in it.
He didn't like the aesthetics.
It's not the same, but I put on some sneakers one time and I wasn't really feeling them. By the time I got to the crib, I took them joints back. I'm straight.
Bro, I literally gave away some Jordans. I'm like, man, they got me looking clumpy. I'm like, bro, like, nah.
Yeah, I ain't like how I looked at them. So it's not the same, but it's kind of the same. All right, so.
It is not the same, but I have a question before we move on from that. How do you know what the auction intends to offer or what they will buy for?
You don't know. But so I done bid it on. I was trying to get my wife an Aston Martin SUV, right? And it was,
Did I even know Aston Martin had SUVs?
So,
I'm like, I didn't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, they dope. And I wanted her to be like one of the first on the scenes with it. And they had some that that's been driven the last year that people turn in. And a lot of it's crazy. Wealthy people, man, they grab these cars and they drive the value of it down. They got really good accountants too, bro. Because the whole purpose of trying to drive that value down so they can write it off as a loss for, and not I'm gonna get a Range Rover and write depreciation and all this off. They got ways of doing it. I don't know how, but I'm gonna figure that out. I got to get on that level of wealth, right? But they turning these cars in all the time, and I'm like, man. So I saw one, and I've been like at them for a week. Them jokers ain't biting. Because everybody ain't got them. So it's kind of like, if you see them, it's like, oh, man. I think that when the market gets saturated with them and they got competition of them being, because you can go in Google or go Car Gurus and see Rolls Royces everywhere, so you can easily hack that. But the newer ones, so I've been told no a lot. They just said yes to that one. So, I'm going to offer lower, and then some people might say, man, get out of here with that. You crazy, right? And then some people, going to be like, all right. And that's when you know that you hit a sweet spot.
Do you buy these cars cash or with credit?
From the business.
Cash from the business?
Well, no. So I got that one. Yeah, I got that one. So I got the Rolls Royce. I bought the Bentley cash from the business, right?
Talking about he ain't rich.
No.
I was going to get him.
Bentleys are not $30,000.
Right. But I did. So I got the Rolls Royce, but I did set the amount of money aside from the business account for that to make sure that it is paid.
Yeah, because at some point you have to leverage credit.
You got to,
especially with large purchases.
You definitely. Yeah. And so just even with that, you get a lot of incentives for it. Like lots of credits and things like that for it. And if I do rent it out for a music video and just things like that, so it's easier to do those type of vehicles, especially if you're gonna use it to like leverage, like your position and like just status or whatever. Because what was funny is like my highest one-on-one coaching program before I got the Rolls Royce was like $5,000 a month. I got 3 people in my $15,000 a month program now.
What do you do
Just
in your
off of that.
$15,000 a month program?
Well, see, I built out development centers in India and call centers in the Philippines. So what I do is I just take the average entrepreneur who wants to like get his whole outfit built out. And we got a process called BODY, build, organize, document, delegate. So we build a whole process, we organize it, make sure we got all the SOPs in place, and we automate the crap out of it, right? And then we delegate it. So now they come in and they don't have to really do anything, but then they get the business handed to them. And they get, you know, from, because one of the companies that we built out is called IHR Buddy as well. And that's what my, with Ken, my business partner. And we either assign people as like a staffing agency, or we build out a whole outfit and have the team already running your business before it gets handed off to you.
What industry do they need to be in to work with
Any,
you?
because the first 2 months of the thing, we're researching and we're learning your industry. But the good thing about it is I have a huge research and development team in the Philippines that has already built out 120 different businesses, down from the websites all the way down to the SOPs, where we just need CEOs to just come plug in. So when they say, hey, I want to start a freight brokering company, you ain't got to go through all that training. We already got them. They know the whole dispatch, and they know where to get loads. They know how to push it. They know how to write contracts and do all that. You just plug into it. We can either joint venture, we get a percentage of the business, you be the face and the influence, or you just pay to get that outfit built. So it's different than learning and then having to go build it again. We realize CEOs don't want to do that. Let us just build it for you, have the dispatchers and all that ready for you. You just go be the face and go make money.
And that's the $15,000 a month.
Yeah, so that's $15,000 a month.
And the first 2 months are spent in research.
Yeah, it's research. And so, and that's to weed out the people who just say, oh, but I done paid 30, don't want to do it no more. Because now that let me know you ain't serious.
All right, come up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
All right, so, but you said you do a joint venture thing, right? So me and Donnie ain't got to put up no money.
Yeah,
and we
so
can just be the
depending on the influence, so depending on the influence, if we got people that's out here that really know how to push it and be the brand, we would do like a joint venture, but that JV would be like, hey, let's push this for 2 years, but the whole goal is to sell it and to break our percentages up and then go on about our business. Because I just ain't about to joint venture with nobody and be stuck with them for 5 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
engagement crazy.
Yeah, we get, well, our engagement is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pictured. You know, like I said, I've been an introvert when we first met. Like that was the vision. But you know, when you have it as a vision, like when you was like, Derrick, what you working on? I knew what I was working on, but you don't tell everybody until like you do it. I done learned like, hey, I'm doing this and doing that, and then you never do it, and they be like, man, he just flow.
Here's the thing, man, because I feel like we could do something. I mean, maybe we need to sit down. We're not going to TGI Friday like Donnie want to go to.
Come on, we're not going to do
she's a child, but we want to go to. Like, we need to sit down and talk. What can we do? Okay, give me an example of what we could do. Like, with me and Donnie's expertise in business and influence and things of that nature, what type of business could we create through you where it's like plug and play, we the face, cash out that joint?
This is what I would recommend on you from an influence standpoint, right? People don't pay for your coaching because they want what you're teaching. They pay for your coaching because they want to be you or they want what you accomplish. Sell that. What I did is I built out a fully automated credit repair company that I use to build multi-millions of dollars. People want the systems. They want the process. They want the whole business in a box. Give them that. So now what I do is they say, hey, can you coach me? No, I'm going to give you my whole system. You get all my automations. You get all this. My developers are going to snap all my logos out, snap all yours in, and you got a ready-made business ready to go. You need 2 people in the Philippines to go ahead and run customer service and dispute. Go ahead and do that. Now, boom, bye. There you go.
How much would you charge for something like that?
That's only $7,500. Because I know the market for credit repair, a lot of people come in and they ain't really making money like that. We just built the software, man, Free Dispute Hub, where credit repair is 100% free now. I got like 20,000 people in that. But we also bought a credit monitoring company. But they got to have a credit monitoring if they come in and do what they said. They can literally scrape their credit report in. It's going to automatically show the violations, show the bad accounts. They can click and literally choose their options the way that they want to and then submit the letters. We also got a mailing center in Mexico, right? It's right there on the border that takes all that digital mail that they API'd and then bring it right there into the U.S. and send it out to the bureaus.
What's API?
API is like an interface to make this software talk to that software.
Oh, gotcha.
So, you know, and we have digital mail, so now ain't no more running to the post office. So through that software, they click, do I want to mail this dispute letter to the bureau? It's going to automatically go to our fulfillment center in Mexico, $3 an hour per person, right? And then they take loads into the U.S. daily, and then it's going to the bureaus because now it's mailing from the U.S., right? So the cool thing about that is we get paid off the credit monitoring side, and they get free credit repair. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
I like how you did that.
Yeah,
That was good.
Because now you can service any client anywhere because they're paying for the monitoring service.
What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week, and I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book every single chapter, every single day? We're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? Themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning.